they're walls, but they have windows and doors. So you make little pockets of allowances. Like my love for you means that, okay, I can accept love, to this degree, and then after that I can't, because this is where I have to put you, and this is for you, but also most is for me.
Sha-Lee here. Welcome to another episode of Chronicles of Unshakable Truths. In this episode, I'd like to take you on the journey of what happened when I met with Sha-Lee and had a conversation with her about my new booklet, The Love That Lasts. We delved into self-love. I hope you enjoy it.
Tonight we're going to be talking about The Love That Lasts. What's the title of your book, Sha-Lee?
The Love That Lasts.
The Love That Lasts. A special guest with us tonight, all the way from Watford. We have Sha-Lee Chiwuzie. So, Sha-Lee, over to you. Tell us a little bit about yourself, about how the book came about, and we can take it from there.
Okay, hello everyone. I'm shy, especially now that I know this is live. Sha-Lee Chiwuzie. I'm the owner and founder of a brand called Unshakable. If you're on video, you'll see that I've got the hoodie on. So Unshakable is a state of mind. The idea behind the brand is to take your state of mind with you everywhere you go, to be unshakable, be in truth with yourself, and to love yourself. The foundation of the brand itself is love anyway. So you guys have had me at the right time.
Excellent.
And to celebrate the month of love, I've written this. Love is such a big word, right? It's such a big, powerful word, and there's so many angles to it. So sometimes it's nice to get to the very foundation of it. And I always like to say that the foundation of love is self-love. So people tend to neglect themselves. And you think of 1 Corinthians 13 version of love means that you need to sacrifice all of you to do it perfectly. So my book kind of suggests that I don't think that's kind of what the intention is. The intention isn't to lose ourselves in the process. Intention, I think, is to be even more whole by virtue of loving yourself so much that there's enough to give to other people. My book, The Love That Lasts, is about how self-love makes love unshakable. Ran an event 2 weeks ago. We listened to love songs and old songs, and in between I did quotes and stories. So this book is a compilation of all 10 stories that I read out on the night, and I just put some self-reflection questions in there as well to make people think. So yes, that's what it is.
Yeah. What inspired you to start the book? How did you get onto this journey?
Okay, so I think for the longest time I've been thinking about love with regards to the brand anyway. But last year in particular, this time last year in February, I lost 2 friends of mine 2 days apart in the same week. Wow. And yeah, that hit me very hard. So I think it got me thinking about so many things. Why do I feel the way I do about certain people? Why do I gravitate towards some more than others? And why do certain things make me feel the way that I feel? So I started to explore my emotions a little bit, because I tell you what, if you're training for the marathon, you have a lot of thinking time, because you were running. Yeah, I was trained for the London Marathon. So I was training with one friend. It was for her 50th. And so I trained through a lot of grief, a lot of pain, and a lot of self-reflection as well. So something like a marathon is a test of resilience, is a test of your strength, and it's a test of your mental stamina. So in that time, there is a lot of introspection going on. Mm-hmm. And yes, so I think that's when this thought was born in my mind. Valentine's week, I had a few of my friends round at a restaurant where there was this live singer. And in between her songs, I did, the quotes, like I said, and I did like a very short, insightful, impactful, thought-provoking story, 5 lines, it's just a short story, So for example, there's a woman, and she looks in the mirror and she never sees beauty in herself. And she did start to say to herself, I am enough. And she started to believe it, and she started to realize, and things changed from there. So I think the idea behind that was to say that you can't rely on another human being to make you feel whole. You have to bring yourself whole into any kind of interaction, be it friendship, be it, romantic entanglement, or, what have you. You have to come whole. You can't derive happiness from someone else. I think it's an unfair ask, actually, of someone.
Okay.
In 2025,
Yes.
do you think it's possible to present yourself in a relationship whole?
Well, yes, I think it's something to aspire to. Let me turn this around and say this instead. What you cannot do is present yourself without being whole, because the relationship isn't going to work.
So what is whole?
I suppose whole means not broken, not damaged.
Yes.
So, because I think if you bring a damaged part of yourself into a relationship, you're presenting the other person with problems, as opposed to
Yes.
as opposed to
So you're
what's the word?
almost, you'd say you're tying your hand behind your back before you even start.
Yes, exactly.
But to Charlie's point, aren't we all broken in a certain way?
In a certain way.
How would I seek to make myself whole so that I know I'm fit for a relationship?
But before you get there,
Yeah.
how do you even know you're broken in the first place?
Yeah, this is a very good question. So I think it's a very individual thing. You know yourself, and you know what you've lived through. You know your life experiences. You know what good should look like. You have guidance on that. You have your inner voice. You have God's voice, well, which sometimes is your inner voice. So you know the things that are not quite right and need to be tweaked. So, for example, if you have bad habits, nobody has to tell you that those habits are bad. So project them forward. That can be self-destructive. So I think everyone kind of knows the parts of themselves that need some work. So I think if you have parts of yourself that are in need of a little bit of work, then I think the idea is to recognize that and to strive toward doing the things. To rectifying that.
And that would probably be at the point that you start to think, well, I would like to be involved in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose the first thing to do then is look at yourself to see, what are you offering? I remember hearing a sermon by a young man, Clarence Jackson, and he preached it in a sermon that was being streamed. So I never feel, I feel it's fine to share, which I've shared it many times, because I thought it was a very, very good line. And he was saying that he was a young man. As a young man, he was talking to one of the elders in his church. And he said, the elder said, Clarence, I think, you think about getting a girlfriend, or you're a teen now or whatever. And he said, oh, yes, elder, I am. And he said, what type of girl would you like? What type of girl are you going to look around for? And he said, oh, I want her to be able to do this, that. I want her to have this. I want her to have that. I want her to have all of these. And he said he talked for about 10 minutes on the attributes of the woman that he thought would be ideal for him. So the elder very poignantly said to him, and when you find a girl just like that, will she want you? And that made, he said, that made him start to think, oh, great. And so he made that point in the sermon, and I've used that so many times. And when you said it now about not being broken when you come to a relationship, Sha-Lee saying, how do you know when you're broken? I think that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
I'm now thinking of having a relationship. Either I'm planning to go out and actively seek a girlfriend, or I meet someone by chance and I think, oh, she's nice. Then you start to, the first thing you should do is look at yourself. Am I attractive enough for that person? You're not sure, you're not convinced by that, Sha-Lee?
Some people are oblivious.
Well,
so
yeah, but aren't the oblivious ones the ones that don't self-reflect? Isn't that what makes me oblivious to the fact that I don't self-reflect? Or are you saying that I self-reflect, but I'm oblivious to the fact that I've got a problem?
That you'll have individuals who will tell you that they've self-reflected and they're okay. It's the others.
I'm fine. I'm fine. It's them.
And based on that and those sort of rhetorics, how then are you presenting yourself whole if you think you're okay, because coming in, everyone will tell you that not everyone, someone will come to you and they will say to you that they're perfect. Maybe they don't have people around them that will point out to them, well, actually, that's not okay. Or you can't just like not speak to me for 4 weeks. I mean, you can't. Some people think that that's okay. How do you find yourself in a place where you're then able to truthfully reflect, and then that leads you to a place, or you're starting on that journey towards wholeness?
Okay.
Because sometimes some people need other people
to tell them
or to get to that place.
Yeah.
To help them, you mean?
Yeah. So
To
I
help
mean,
them?
yeah. So, but of
Become
course,
old.
Sha-Lee, to what you're saying is, consider this. So I get into a relationship and I think I'm fine, and this other person says to me, "Do you know, Sally? Actually, every time we have an argument, you go off sulking for 4 weeks and you don't talk to me. I think this is very unhealthy." It's then my job to think about it. Well, logically, first of all, like sit down in my quiet moment. Does it really make sense to not talk to somebody for 4 weeks, you know? And isn't that a good starting point? So if you're honest with yourself and the answer is no, then there you go. That's something you need to work on.
See,
you know,
I dig deeper than that.
even though life is not that straightforward, obviously.
No, true. But
Yeah.
see, and Mark is going to roll his eyes because he knows where I'm coming from. Because I will dig even deeper than that. Because I would also say, where is it coming from? In terms of, is that the way your father communicates with his mother, or your mother communicate with your father, that now you've adopted and now you're bringing into your relationship, and you don't even realize until you sit down and think, why do I do that?
Is when you sit down and you think, you know, why do I do that? That is the beginning of identifying that there's a problem that you need to fix in the first place.
And the beginning
right?
of healing, yes.
And the beginning of healing. And
remember, one person or we cannot be responsible for everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
So there will be those that say, but I'm fine. I have no need of self-reflection. Or I've done my self-reflection and I'm fine. And we can we almost can't legislate for them, because what we're really saying is that to make the love last, we're saying, how do you make the love last, or the love that lasts? What you need to do is the self-reflection. So again, it's almost like last week when we were talking about what do you do when people are unlovable, or loving you really hurts. Is that for those that are going to say, well, if it hurts to love me, you need to change. There's something wrong with you. We can't legislate for those people. What we're really speaking to and for are those that are seeking for the love to last, those that are seeking to not be unlovable, so those that are seeking to continue or to build or to find a way, navigate a path to a healthy and happy relationship. What you need to sit down and do is self-reflect at the beginning. I'm going somewhere to meet someone, or I went somewhere and I met someone, or I now feel I now feel that I'm ready for a relationship. So you're deciding that you're available now, and interested. So what we're really saying is for those people. So I may have some serious trauma because of what happened in my youth, or what my father, how my father and my mother were. But if I'm really seeking to break the cycle, then I've got to do this bit of work. If I don't see that bit of work as necessary, or if I decide I've done the work and I'm perfect, or let's not even say perfect, I'm fine. If I've done the work and I'm fine, but still I meet 3 people in 3 different walks of life, and all of them have the same complaints about me, that, Mark, you're sulky, or I can't disagree with you before you fly off the handle, or whatever it might be. And I still say, well, that's you three's problem. I'll go and find the 4th person. Then we can't really legislate for that person. That person's got more work to do. And hopefully they will bump into someone that can help them with that before it's too late for them in terms of relationships. That go on.
You talk about a lot of what you said. I got from that is you need to do the work. So you need to do work, but I'm assuming we're saying if we're wanting love to last, both of us want them to want the love to last.
Yes.
It can't just be a
one person.
I want it, but you're looking over there.
Yes.
So you both have to be in agreement that you're going to put in the work for the love to last.
Yes, because and I like that, being in agreement that you're going to put in the work, because you might want the love to last and I want the love to last, but our idea of how the love lasts is totally different. It's totally different from each other. So, you know, I might say, yeah, I want the love to last, so just stop making noise, stop asking me questions, and just get on with it. Right? So, and then the love will last forever.
So then, okay, so we then have that. How do you get over that hurdle then?
For someone that wants this love to last, I think, we've only got the first hurdle so far, but the first hurdle was the self-reflection, I think.
Yes, yeah.
That was the first hurdle, and that's what we've got to start there. We've got to say, okay, I want this love to last. What do I need to do? As the young man Clarence, first the elder said to him, so will the girl that has all of the things that you want, and I can't remember what those things were because he was quite young, so it wouldn't necessarily have been, you know, a CEO of a company or I can't remember those things, but when he laid out all the things that the ideal woman would have, and he just said, just pause for a moment, just pause, right? Have a bit of self-reflection. Now you walk down the street and you bump into that girl. Is that girl going to say, "Ooh, Clarence"?
Yeah, you're everything I've ever wanted.
Yeah, everything that I've ever.
All my boxes.
All my boxes.
Yeah. It made him.
Yeah, but it made him think.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest. Every time I think of it, I think too.
Yes. Because I'm thinking now. You know, read out something that that might resonate. So it's from the book, and there are 10 stories. I call them 10 chapters, but this is chapter 10, and it's the love that stayed. So it says they'd both been hurt before, afraid to love again, but this time they brought something different. Healed hearts, not broken ones. And the quote is, the strongest love is not found in another. It's built by two people who have already found it in themselves. That is unshakable. And the self-reflection question is, how can I work on healing my heart before entering into love again?
Okay, great. Do come through and let us know if you've got any thoughts, any questions. We're talking to Sha-Lee Chiwuzie.
I love how he says my name.
Nah. What is it? Where is it?
It's right.
No, but what is
an Igbo. It's Nigerian.
Igbo, I like it. Sha-Lee Chiwuzie is with us in the studio tonight, and she's talking about her book, The Love That Lasts. And we're going to figure out how we get it, how we keep it, how we have it, obtain it. So you mentioned you just read something from chapter 10. I'm not sure that I know still yet what triggered you to write the book. You told me when you wrote it, but I don't think you told me what triggered you. But tell me the format of the book, because you said you read something from chapter 10. What's the format? So
the format is as an introduction. So it talks about the past year and how hard it was, the things that I did, various things that happened in that time when Kelly and Chuchu died on the 12th and 14th of February. And I think I spent a lot of time just thinking about so many different things. When I talk about love, this book doesn't talk about love simply from a romantic angle. Their family, their friendships. So is this friendship really good for me? Like I said, when you're running the marathon, and you're training for the marathon, you have a lot of thinking time. For example, on the day of Kelly's funeral, I had to give a speech. I remember that morning I ran 26 kilometers in the rain before I got there. I was just thinking about, why do these kind of things happen? It was could it have been prevented? Did she live her life to the fullest? How am I affected? Does this mean I can drop dead at any time? If that's the case, have I given the best that I can? What will my tombstone say? Do people actually love me? Does it matter if people love me or not? But do you see what I mean?
Yes.
All of these things, and it all boiled down to who even am I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know. So who is Sally Chibuzie? Are you are you these things that you have, these little connections, right? Is this really good for you? Is this, have you handled this in the best way? So, for example, even within family, you have issues, right? You can't get along with everybody. It was a process of, okay, Sally, so self-love isn't just about, I need to love myself and protect myself, and then you need to give love and you need to, no, there are also other parts of self-love, like discipline. So discipline so for example, creating healthy boundaries with people. Yeah. So there's this quote that says that boundaries aren't just like insurmountable walls. They're walls, but they have windows and doors. So you make little pockets of allowances. Like, so my love for you means that, okay, I can accept this much of your love, to this degree. And then after that, I can't, because, this is where I have to put you, and this is for you, but also this is for me, because I don't like the way I am when I'm with you. I don't like the way I am when we fall out. I don't like our relationship when there are no boundaries defined, so that sort of thing. So I thought about that. So I thought about it from friendships. This person you hang out with and you'd like to, do, I don't know, have a coffee together and, you talk about this and that and the other. Is it equal? Are you equally yoked? Do you like the same things? Are your visions the same? Are you moving in the same direction? And if not, isn't that the reason why you have these little fallouts and you don't know, she doesn't understand you, don't understand her, so what then do you do about that for your own sanity, for you to grow? And bearing in mind, like, if you heal yourself and you project this healing upon this other person, they will grow. Do you see? They will grow. Yeah. So that's where I think it links back into you can't pour from an empty cup. You have to have something to give. So be it, and that giving isn't necessarily all my love and affection to infinity and beyond, like take what you can and just drain me. That giving may be the gift of knowledge in that, listen, I'm not going to let you do this to me, and then you need to go think your own self of why you react to me in this way. Let both of us do some growing.
How easy do you think it is to put boundaries in, though?
Very, very hard, especially for somebody like me. I'm an empath of life, So I'm the one who sees someone in a gutter, and they say, Sally, here, take this rope and go help them out. And then there's me in the process of trying to help you out. I then fall into the... they come out. Either they come out and leave me in there, or must end up there stuck with no help.
And now we don't have anybody to pull us out.
Exactly, that's me. So to answer your question, Sha-Lee, it's not easy. I think we spend an entire lifetime. This is why I say one of the objectives of being unshakable is to be the best version of yourself in existence at every point in time, which means the only thing you owe to yourself on Tuesday is to try and be better than you were on Monday. So we're going to do that till the day we die. I'll probably be on my deathbed saying, should I have, whatever.
I do better.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it.
So what triggered you to write the book?
All of these things put together, and then watching all these people come together for this restaurant we went to, where this singer was, where she was singing, and I was, in between each song, I did a quote. And
hold on.
10 songs.
But that was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So you wrote the book 2 weeks ago?
I wrote this book, in an insomniac episode. I wrote it overnight. So I wrote this book 2 weeks ago. Yes.
Okay.
I did, yeah.
I thought the book was written a year ago when your friend died.
No. That's what I was thinking about when I was writing it. Awake at 3:00 in the morning, where everyone was sleeping, on the 15th of February, actually. So
wow,
I can tell you that. And then I put it together, and I was like, we have a little book.
Okay.
What should we do? Like, how to publish? Here we are.
Well,
so it's not my first book, but this one's very different. The other one is a story, and that was many years ago. And like I said, I do want to publish a few more, but this, do you know, I feel like something compelled me to write this. And I think this is why I'm not able to answer your question correctly or properly or fully. I don't know. I think, like I was saying to Sha-Lee, that the response has been, if you're on my social media, you see everyone's reading the book like it's a trending thing at the moment, and everyone's writing what they think about it and they're tagging me. And I'm just like, wow, okay.
Exactly.
So
Perfect.
while someone was saying to me, Sally, I think the market is saturated with self-love, is saturated with all of this stuff. And, you know, do you not think that people are going to be tired of hearing this? And do you know what I think, actually? I think the reason why it's saturated with this stuff is because there isn't enough of it. I think people struggle with, it's so complex. Love is so complex, you know? So people will struggle with it. So people need to hear this stuff. And what I tried to do was I tried to not just go from, you know, one angle. I talk about family because siblings fight. And, you know, or I talk about friendships. I talk about, you know, your own relationship with yourself. You know, so maybe in the book, there's something for everybody, because I did try to be as comprehensive as possible.
For the listeners out there, the structure of the book.
Yeah.
What tell us a little bit about the structure now.
Okay, so we have the introduction. So I did the prologue. I just give a little bit of a foundation about what I think love is. Why do I love the way I do? Why do I hold on so tightly to some people and let go so easily of others? So, and I said here, it makes me realize not all love is equal, nor should it be. So it's just, is the acceptance that love will mean different things to different people, and love has so many degrees, so many capacities. It also has to respect individuality. That's another thing you need to talk about, right? So I'm different from you. So yes, it's really, really naughty not to talk to somebody for 4 weeks because you're obsessed with them. But actually, there are people who, when they're upset, they cannot articulate themselves in that moment and they need some space. So maybe reduce that from 4 weeks to 1 week.
Sally Chiwuzie here. I hope you enjoyed this conversation with Sha-Lee and Mark. I certainly did. Look forward to sharing part 2 with you next week. Take care. Bye.